Please also visit us on our website, powersportsdistro.com, for a large selection of pit bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and scooters. Welcome to Powersports Distro assembly video of a SSR 125cc manual or semi-automatic pit bike. These are the tools that we're going to need today.
What we're going to need to do is open up the box. So we got the utility knife, we got some quick scissors here. Okay, this is how the box is going to arrive to you from the shipping company. It's going to be fully padded here. You're going to have lots of padding so there isn't damage when it's shipped. You'll notice when we open the box, you'll see everything secure inside and really can't move around very much. I'm going to open the box right up. And take a look at how it comes. You can take a look here and see exactly how the bike comes. This is a blue 125 manual pit bike. You notice here's a box. This is going to have your important documentation, like your manual, your MSO for registration. You notice it's very secure. You've got it in a steel cage. You've got your front tire here. So we're going to go through all the steps of this, but this is how the bike's actually going to come. We'll continue and we'll get this box right off. You'll be able to see how well this is packaged. See how sturdy it is, and you got this metal cage here. It's all fastened in there really tight and good. We don't usually see a lot of damage with these. Off the cardboard, and now we're going to work on this frame here. First, the important documents are right here in this box, so we're going to go ahead and take those out so make sure they're all safe and secure. You know, the documents saying you own the bike and the manual and things like that. We'll just safely put them aside, that way they're not damaged. Right over here we go. Okay, now it's the sturdy frame to help it during shipping so it's not damaged. It's going to take a Phillips for the screw side to undo it. It's just a Phillips screwdriver. And then we got a 10mm socket for the other side. So, we're just going to go through and we're going to loosen all these little bad guys up. So we're just going to go one by one. We're going to loosen up every one of these bolts and screws. We're not going to need them in the future anyhow. We're just loosening them right now to get the bike out. Okay, so we've been loosening up the different nuts and bolts. A lot of them now are just on there, just kind of with the, finger tight. Go in and loosen up. Before we take them all out, we're going to go through and we're going to cut off some of these safety straps. Some of these wires right here holding the bike to this frame, and some of these zip ties. So we need to do that before we take out all these nuts and bolts. So let's go ahead and start that. Let's get some wire clippers. If you want, you can twist these by hand, but wire clippers seem to be quite a bit faster. This is just a safety measure, just when your bike is shipping, so it doesn't hit the side of the frame. It just keeps it nice and sturdy in the middle. We'll just go through and take some of these are just regular scissors to get these undone. There we go. This one already under the fender. This is going to be your front fender when we're all said and done. Let's work on this back tire over here. You can see it's attached right to the frame. Go ahead and we'll snip her down. Be careful, make sure we don't scratch the paint when we're taking it down. Okay. There we go. One tire, one front tire. So we'll set it aside till we need it. Okay, we got to keep clipping here. The wire cutter's back in there. Let them do their job. Okay, get that loosened up. Work your way right around the bike. Get this out. Make sure we don't get no scratches or anything. Even so the wire doesn't scratch, you can see SSR went through the trouble of putting a rubber hose around the wire so it doesn't scratch the paint. And if you guys ever have any questions, you come to info@powersportsdistro.com. Shoot us an email. We'll be happy to get back with you with any questions you have in assembly or makes and models that SSR sells or anything like that. Okay, we've unsnipped most of the ties here. We've undone most of the bolts. Now we just want to very carefully take off the frame so we don't, scratch up or damage the bike at all. So we just want to be careful. We don't want to accidentally rub it against the paint. As long as we take all the bolts off on the top, we should pretty much be able to lift it off like that. Okay. And feel free to check out our other videos online. We've got assembly for ATVs, for other SSR bikes, Coolster, Tatas, Pitster Pro, and Ice Bear. Okay, we got the majority of the frame gone now, and we're almost to the point where we can lift the bike up, and we're going to put it either on a stand, is what we're going to do. Most people can just tip over a 5-gallon bucket and use that for a good place to support the bike while we finish putting it together. Just a Home Depot bucket or something like that, flip it upside down, it'll work great. 5-gallon bucket. Okay, so the front axle here, so the bike is sturdy when it ships. It's bolted down, so I'm going to use adjustable wrench on one side and a 14mm socket on the other. So this side I'm just going to kind of hold it, keep it steady. This one here I'm going to take the 14mm and back it out. Now you want to save these pieces. The pieces that we're taking off right now, these spacers right here, we're going to need them. You don't want to chuck them, you don't want to throw them out. Okay, getting to the point where we pretty much can do this by hand, I believe. Yep, little guy came right out. Yep, I'm gonna back this right out with a wrench. Okay, we went ahead and unfastened the axle from the actual frame itself, and we took the bike out of the frame and we set it up on the platform. Probably most of you guys are going to use something like a 5-gallon bucket. Just dip it upside down, a Home Depot bucket or Lowe's, and it'll work the same as this stand that we're using here. So after we get it on here, there's a couple things we need to do. We got the front tire, we got the handlebars we need to bolt down, and we have a rear shock that we just need to bolt on real quick. So we're going to go back and we're going to start working on that rear shock. It's just one bolt. Let's go back there. Okay, you can see that the shock is just hanging here. Okay, it's already attached and everything on one end. And this is just a dummy piece of metal. We're not going to need this piece of metal. But what we are going to need are these screws and bolts right here. So we're going to take those out and we're going to reuse them, but with the shock. So this, on this side here, is a 12mm. Okay, so it's not even that tight. Just pretty much do it with your fingers. Go ahead and get that out. And this is a piece of metal we're no longer going to need. Now we need to just lift up the rear tires so we can put the bolt back in and fasten the axle, or fasten the shock into place. There we go. So we just line up the shock holes with the holes in the frame here. And put the bolt right back on. Now, some of these bolts you might want to use Loctite on. It's just a personal preference. Most of them are snug, but you know, anything that moves and vibrates, it's never a bad idea to throw a little drop of Loctite on there from your local hardware store. So we'll get this all snugged up and tightened. Again, this was a 12mm on this side. And that's it. Got your shock on. Okay, next we're going to work on putting on the front tire. So right now these are just hand tight. You can take those right off. Careful, we need the spacers, we need the axle, we need all the parts. Just grab the tire. And the way that the tire is always going to go on is that this disc right here for the brake is going to have to line up with the brake caliper right here. So we always know that this disc is always going to be on the side of that brake caliper. And the other trick is, in this caliper, to hold it open while it's shipping, there's a piece of plastic in here. It's kind of hidden. It's a little black piece of plastic. So we just wiggle that out. It's just garbage, but it's in there, you know, so the brake doesn't shut on itself during shipping. Okay, to put the front tire on, we are going to use the spacers, and you'll notice they're two different sizes. We got a longer spacer and a shorter spacer. We're going to put the longer spacer on the side of the brake caliper, the side that has the brake disc on it. So it's going to go right here, the longer one. Okay, and then the shorter one is going to end up right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. Might need someone to help you hold up the tire when you do this, otherwise you're kind of doing a balancing act. Put the disc, the brake disc, right there in the caliper. You want to line up the brake, or you want to line up the axles right here. You want to put it in this little spacer. Get right through here, line it all up. Okay, then before you go through the other side, you got to get the shorter side on. Line her up. Wiggle her in. And we went through. There we go, we got a tire spinning, and now we need to tighten the nut on. Tighten the bolt. Okay, so we're just using the adjustable wrench on this side here. And of course, on this side here, we're just using the 14 millimeter. We got it mostly snug now, but we just want to tighten her up. Make sure it's on there good. Okay, it's on there good. Tire spinning. Everything's good. On to the next step. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up this box. We got some important items in here. There we go. Okay, we got some really important things here we need for the assembly, such as the gas cap. Alright, so in the box we've got, you've got your manual, we've got your manufacturer of origin paper, which pretty much has your VIN number, says you own it. This is how you can register it with the state if you want to. And we have some parts in here so we can bolt down the handlebars, one of the last things that we've got to do. So let's go ahead and get the gas tank all set. Okay, gas cap. We've got this little breather tube for the cap itself. We want to slide it on over this little hole. Okay. And you'll notice there's some paper here, just so nothing gets in your gas tank while it's shipping. Other than that, it's dry inside. I'll screw that little guy on. Gas cap, ready to go. Again, if you guys ever have questions, come right here. Powersportsdistro.com. We have live chat. We've got text messaging. We've got a phone number on there. Feel free to get a hold of us, email us. We'll help you out. Okay, now let's go on to the handlebars. One of the last things we got to do. These were in the box. This is the hardware we're going to use to hold down the handlebars. And we are going to use these bolts to put them on. You may need someone to help you on this, just to kind of hold the handlebars when you're tightening these down. There's nothing difficult about it, but just lining up the holes, can get a little tricky. So what we want to do, this is how the parts are. So let's take those apart. We're gonna put that on there. This is where the handlebar is gonna go in. So we need to put the handlebar in there. And we're going to need to put these bolts through the holes that are right here, but of course under here. So we got to line it up. There they are. Push them through. Now we'll just kind of hand tighten these. Just to get them going. We'll come back, we'll tighten them up a little bit in a moment. We'll get them tighter. Okay, we just need to start putting on the other side here to fasten on the handlebar. Let's go ahead and start working on the other side. We're just going to hand tighten this side again right now. Let's get it going. There we go. Now line up the holes. Get them through there. And we're going to snug on 2 bolts on the bottom. We're going to hand tighten them right now, and then we're going to come back and tighten them real well. Okay, the tools that we're going to need to tighten it down are, we've got a 12mm wrench, and we've got our Allen wrench. We're using a number 6 in the metric. So basically we adjusted these to where we felt we needed to. They're just kind of hand tightened right now. We pulled them up to where we felt it would be comfortable to ride. We're going to use the Allen wrench. We're going to put it on the top. And we've got the 12mm on the bottom. I'm going to go through and we're going to tighten all 4 of them. Okay, we're down to the last part with the handlebars where we are just snugging them up. We've got everything hand tightened, everything. Now we're just using our Allen wrench, using our 12mm, and we're just going through and tightening them to make sure that they are snug for riding. We're glad that you guys joined us today, and we hope that you enjoy this video with the great detail in it and our other videos that are out there on our other products. Again, feel free to email us at any time. We're a friendly company. We'll help you out. Get these all snug. We just got 2 more to go. Here. 1 more to go. And there we go. Handlebars on good. Okay, one of the last things we're going to do here is this front fender. Came right here in this bag. And to put it on, we need 10 millimeter. There are 3 screws under there, 3 bolts that we need to take out, and that's what's going to hold in the fender. Now they're pretty loose, so let's pull them out with your fingers. So we've got the 3 bolts out. Put the fender. Start to hand tighten them in there. We got 3 of them. Okay, so we're using the 10 millimeter and we are tightening up the fender. Get it all snug. And we're good. Okay, when putting on this front plate right here, you're going to want to look at the bolt right here. This bolt, when you put it on, at the bottom of it, of this piece of plastic right here, you need to match it up. You need to slide the bottom of the plate plastic. It's up here, right here. You need to slide the bottom of the plate plastic down there so it matches up, because that's what's going to hold it in place on the bottom. All we did was take this top bolt, we pulled it out, we put the plastic there, and we hand tighten the bolt in. So we got the bottom secure of the plate, we've got the top secure, and now we're just taking our 10 millimeter socket here and we're tightening her up. And the last part of the plate, we've got this little white piece here, and it's to hold this into place. So we're trying to go into great detail here and give you guys all the fine detail that you need. We know a lot of other people, a lot of other companies kind of skip the details and just do an overall, and you just don't get what you need. And here at Powersports Distro, we really want to go for quality over quantity and help you guys out. Alright, the very last thing we're going to do, everything is all set besides, we're just going to take off the protection that was put on here so the bike did not get scratched up during shipping. And here's our finished product, our 125 SSR manual pit bike. We've got it totally together now. Take a close up. Pretty nice. We got some really good quality going on here. SSR is doing a really good job with putting these together. Take a look at the other side. And really nice product. One last thing we want to mention is that the bikes come with shipping oil in them. So you want to pick up a quart of this 10W40 4-stroke oil from your local AutoZone or Walmart, wherever. Doesn't have to be this brand name, but just a 10W40 4-stroke, non-synthetic. And we hope you enjoyed our assembly video of the SSR 125 manual pit bike. here at Powersportsdistro.com. Please feel free to drop by anytime. Give us a call, text us, drop us an email, whatever you'd like. Right here's your finished product. Feel free to visit us any day. We'll answer any of your questions. Powersportsdistro.com. Have a great day.